My name is Ashley Hazard. I'm in the Writing and Design for Musical Theater program at Berklee NYC. One of my favorite classes here has been our workshop class where we bring in 10 pages of book and 2 songs. We present them to the class. For the first time, we get real-time feedback, and that's been one of the more invaluable experiences because every single week we're having to churn out new material for this show, and it's kept us on track in such a way that we have been able to write a fully formed first draft of a new musical, over the course of 6 months. I am the graduate assistant to Julianne Wick-Davis, who is our program director for the Writing and Design for Musical Theater program. She's a gem. She is producing work that's, one of her shows was just premiered off Broadway and also is going to be on Disney Plus soon as of this year, and so we're so excited about that. But just to learn from people in the industry and to have that direct sort of mentorship in the program right alongside us, helping us along with writing these shows, has been invaluable. Yeah, there's a lot of voice recordings, and this is what I'm working on for the opening number. My writing process is a really solo endeavor because I'm writing the musical by myself. Music, I'm the composer, lyricist, and the book writer of the show. And so in terms of just the historical research, that was a big element. I have like 5 books that I've been reading on rotation for the past several months, and it's definitely been even a learning experience. As much as I know about the Black bourgeoisie, but learning, what was it like in Tennessee versus in New York, and what is it like on this side of the country versus that side. And there were all these pockets of really thriving, prosperous Black people that lived right after slavery ended that are kind of swept under the rug. And so just to give voice to those stories and a lot of unspoken stories, unheard stories, has been just such a delight and a joy and an honor for me to bring to life. So the musical is called Forestine. Protagonist is the namesake of my great aunt, Forestine, who I never met, but she's my grandmother's eldest sister, and I saw her picture growing up, and she had a lot of mystery behind her eyes, and then hearing the accompanying story of her life. She didn't live to be much older than the picture I saw, which was about my age, and there was just something there that never left me. And so while she was the inspiration to begin writing the story, it was other family stories that I heard growing up that really were the inspiration to begin writing this musical.
I just like really brainstorming the lyrics here. Never look back. And then we have one that I think I'm going to start the second act with. I wish I knew that. I wish I knew that.
We'll start over. I've got a suitcase, follow my lead. Lean on me, he knew what you'd need. He planted a seed, and though it won't be easy, you're stronger than you might believe.
We hired actors, working actors here in the city, to perform our songs in the studio.
Look, we got our bags packed, we'll get on these tracks, head to New York, and after that, we'll see what it's like. We can always come back. That's a fact.
It just taught us how to communicate directly to these musicians and these actors that have never heard this material for the first time. And we came out with some really great recordings. We've done a lot of collaborations here at Berklee NYC, and a lot of it is just learning that you don't have to do everything by yourself. You don't have to know every instrument by heart. You don't need to know how to play it to perfection. If you are able to communicate that to a musician, that's the kind of the greatest gift that I've kind of discovered here. And so being able to format something and have basically the chordal structure and even some melodies on piano. I play mostly by ear, and everything else is just like something that I've developed. And then communicate that to a musician, like either a pianist or a guitarist, even a rhythm section that can really pick up what I'm saying, even without it being notated, and then use my interpretation to notate it fully, exactly according to my wishes. It's been a really empowering experience.
What's that last one?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I love that. Yeah, I'd love that to be the underscore.
Because what I get from this is that Ezra is having this moment of
Yeah.
like, I don't like help. But then suddenly he has to put
He
on a
has
face
to-
when Josephine comes
He
in.
always is having to
So
do
that,
this.
so that
Yeah.
music, we're on sync.
Yes!
So-
And this is, of course, right after Forestine makes her way in the sound. So it's like music, music, music. Everything is serving music. So I want this to have its own, like, from beginning to end, it's coded in this
Sure.
bed of, like, this melody.
Little seeds grow big things, I've seen it. Little faith has big years without you here, it's clear as day to me. Leader, could you let me?
You know, you write something in the comfort of your room and you don't know what's going to translate, but it's just so deeply personal that you write it because you have to.
1863 to 1963. 100 forgotten years when a secret society emerged. A highly successful aristocracy. The upper echelon stayed under the radar. A source of curiosity, intrigue, confusion, contempt, an enigma to white and black. For their safety and the advancement of their race, they kept their circle small and associated with like-minded people of a similar status. If you knew, you knew. If you didn't, you'd think it was folklore. Dinner parties, cotillions, financial insulation, activism through intellectualism. Every member of the black bourgeoisie has their own story to tell.
This one is mine.
And this one is mine.
I am writing a musical called Forestine. It's the coming-of-age love story of a young woman who lived during the Reconstruction era of American history in a black bourgeoisie community, thriving black upper class, and the story of her life, her loves, and the tragedy she experiences, and also the triumphs, and how they were trailblazers during that time.
I think things like that are getting down.
I'm having trouble seeing her when she's like, Dad, are you gonna come home with me? In that moment, I'm having seen a little dim. The half punch thing is not reading. So I think this is
Can you talk about the performance, the showcase, the rehearsals
Yeah.
leading up to it, and the
Man.
show itself?
Yeah, we got to perform just a 20-minute excerpt of the entire 2-act play with multiple songs, but we did about 4 songs during the showcase. Not only the music, but also the storytelling aspect, delivering that to a director who's also catching the vision, and then to, of course, actors who are going to bring it to life on stage. That has been one of the greatest joys of the whole experience.
I like how you're attending to this. I feel like it's almost like you're pushing into, because you want to, you know that that's success. You can feel that pull, that, okay, mom's telling me to go to bed.
Right.
So that will be really good. Like, all right, honey, now go on.
Forestine is a discontented debutante.
She is quick as a whip and the most fashionable by far. At this time, Forestine is leaving her future to chance.
She's living in the black bourgeoisie community fully thriving and under this kind of umbrella of safety, and doesn't know what she doesn't know. So she has this world that they've built around her that is completely safe and free of harm, but when she exits that world is when all of the harsh realities of life are thrown at her for the first time.
Always passing by.
Blink of an eye and it leaves you behind. Who am I? Why am I alive? How am I meant to spend this one life? Citizen, blending in as a muted wife, biting my tongue, biding my time, watching it all pass me by. And I need a sign, give me the heads up, God won't you let me decide?
I need a sign as I wait in line.
Give me a sign.
Forestine, once she does descend the stairs and is being presented as a woman, she encounters Teddy and they dance together. And growing happens fast when you're young, so they haven't seen each other for a couple of years, and they are seeing each other with new eyes now. And he, for the first time, gives her some hope that maybe this change and this rite of passage isn't going to mean something detrimental.
You were right under my nose, but I'm just noticing you. You've brought a special sense of peace, a new point of view. I was looking for a sign, but you've been here all this time, and I'm just noticing you.
When I was on this rhyme, then I got to think, I was like, oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
You made this rhyme.
Open your eyes, there is more left to comprehend. Since you're my friend, you're blend right in.
Teddy is a charismatic gentleman. He is a leader. He's somebody that has compassion, and when he sees somebody struggling, it's his duty to walk beside them and help them, even at the risk of and the sake of himself. Ezra is another person in our story that becomes very important to Forestine moving forward. He's kind of more of a rags to riches story. He's brought into the fold of the black bourgeoisie in the first act, and so we get to see his rise and ascension into being more educated and making something more of his life than he started out with. We start off with Teddy being introduced to Ezra, who is someone running from all of the trials of a sharecropping farm, and Teddy meanwhile is coming home from university. So they're on polar opposite spectrums, but they have this bond, and he invites him to come home with him and experience this new way of life.
Smartest man that I have ever known, so he left me before he's mine.
Group of yes.
Saw a whole new world in front of him. Thirst he never did quench. Run away, ah. You're not better off dead, you're just better than this.
It was just on another level to see it performed and to see the vision that I had in the nascent phases brought to life, and to see everybody else reacting to it and having tears at certain moments, laughing at certain things, and for them to respond in the way that they did. It was just like such a gift, and I'm glad to be here to do it. For the future, I hope to put this show up on Broadway. I want to see it go the distance, and I want to record a cast album here at the Power Station. I really want to see the first fully formed cast, because it's a big ensemble show all about the black bourgeoisie that lived during this time. And so yeah, I'd love to see it on Broadway. I wanted the cast recording to be, fully formed, and to see all of the actors bring it to life.
You just don't hear these kinds of stories told, but these stories are my foundation. I was raised on them, and I look forward to sharing the full version in the near future.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yay!
That's great. And that's a wrap.